Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of The Aftermath. My name is Ian, and as always, I'm joined by the one and only Dylan. He's just a little
under the weather.
He's a big sick.
Yeah.
Just a little guy. He's a little sick.
Right. December comes around, motherfuckers is just germs, bro. They love me.
It is. I feel like par for the course. You do get a little.
Always around this time of year.
Yep.
I was holding out hope that maybe it would be different and I could go a whole year without being sick, but no.
Nay.
Nope. Just that time.
Yep. I was a little bit worried because you weren't feeling so well the past couple of days. I was like,
It was fucking awful.
I want you to rest. I want you to get better. But I was like, I want to watch.
Let's eke out an episode.
not even like eke out an episode. I know that today you had to go back to work and you're going to be working a long day, or the potential of working a long day, depending on how stuff lined out. And I was like, oh man, I feel bad that you felt sick Tuesday.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, the week's going to be coming to a close, and I don't want to overbear you. And I was like, I just don't.
No, dude, this is like a fucking vacation for me. All right. Tuesday and Wednesday were the worst of it. Yeah. This is like a godsend right now, getting to watch another Broly movie.
Yeah.
Dude, sign me up.
Yeah. As you guys have seen from the title, we watched the sequel to the Dragon Ball Z Broly films, Second Coming.
Oh, yes.
And, wow.
Yeah.
This one was interesting.
It was fucking goofy.
Yes.
For the first half.
Yes.
Nothing but shenanigans.
Yep.
And hoo-ha. But, man.
Yep.
As soon as that motherfucker hears Goten crying and breaks out of the ice, it's on.
Yeah. I enjoyed this one.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm glad that you're starting to feel a little bit better. So
a little bit.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a handful of things I want to talk about at the end of the episode that we'll get to eventually.
Okay. Yeah.
And I just gotta make sure that I don't forget it.
Right.
But I will.
I can remind you again.
You can, but the thing is, like I gotta make some notes because I already feel like I'm gonna forget.
Hey, real quick before you do
that.
No,
not that. I'm talking about the contents, not the fact that I want to bring it up. It's the contents of what it is.
All right. But let me just say this quick thing, okay? Yeah. Don't forget about that stuff you want to talk about.
Oh shit! Thank you, dude. Thank you. You always got my back.
You can count on me.
Hell yeah. So, anyways, did you like watch this on like Toonami or whenever it came out?
They did have a few runs on Toonami. They played the Dragon Ball movies every so often.
Yeah.
But I cannot remember for the life of me when the first time I watched it was.
Right. I can imagine it would.
Because it was a few years until I was able to get those movie collections because I didn't want to get them like individually because there's already so fucking many.
Right.
And as soon as I saw those collections on the shelves, I was like, oh, I have to pick this shit up. So, yeah, I've got just about the entire Actually, yeah, I do have the entire collection of Dragon Ball films at my disposal.
Really? That's cool to hear.
Yes. It's very nice.
In true fashion, just because I want to touch on this, and I did respond to the comment, but I just want to bring it up here again, just to kind of talk about this.
Yeah.
Is that our main man said, I have a couple questions. How did you start your Dragon Ball media journey?
Oh boy,
ingesting the abridged series. How can you ping pong around the show without going crazy with all the insane shit going on? And finally, why is the name of this episode not Magical Wish Balls? And the reason why I read this is because this movie started. This movie started off, and immediately we get the opening like music video intro,
right, yeah.
Like the normal anime music intro happens, and Gohan's our main man.
Right.
Is what it seems like from the past couple. And then Dylan looks over at me and says, "Oh yeah, Goku's dead, by the way." Yeah. And I go, "Wait, what?"
Now, I have to preface this. Whenever it was under the impression that you only watched the abridged series, like that full abridged series, when it was just one of the movies that they did for it.
Yeah.
Ian has not seen all but like 2 episodes of Dragon Ball Z,
Yeah.
completely withholding Dragon Ball, not
Right.
even at the very beginning. And
Right.
that's been all he's seen, aside from a few movies. So he knows a few facts, but that's about it as far as the series goes for Ian.
Right.
So it's more or less like I think I mentioned this on the last episode that I am taking the Gundam approach with this.
Yep.
I should not be doing that because it's the same issue where stuff's happening that you're not going to get or don't know the context of.
Yeah.
But it's still really fucking cool and fun.
It's still
right?
cool and fun, and I'm along for
How
the
about
ride.
them fights, huh? Goddamn.
Yeah. I think that with time I'll be able to piece things together, and I mean I am probably going a little bit insane, but I definitely had to have a little bit of a debrief right at the top of this. I was like, so wait a second.
I'm glad I did. I'm glad I laid some stuff out for you.
Yes.
Like during the intro, just so you've got a rough idea of where we're at right now.
Yeah, because not only is he dead, but I was like, but I know for a fact he comes back. And you're like, he comes back in GT, which again, I was like, okay, but I'm gonna pretend like that's not canon anymore.
Right.
And he's like, but he does get resurrected in Super, so it does make sense in the main timeline. I was like, okay, I'm on board. And then he kind of briefly told me how he dies in some way. And I was like, all right, cool, got it. So yeah. Anyways, it was
that's where we're at right now. So, in the last movie, how would you describe Broly's demise, Ian?
catastrophic.
Oh yeah.
I think he explodes.
Yeah,
Actually.
you ever been punched so hard you just explode?
No, and I hope to never experience that.
Broly has.
Yeah, twice, I think.
But that evidently was not enough.
No,
because
because rage lives on.
Right. Motherfucker holds a grudge past the point of no return. And we see this fucker crash onto the earth 7 years later in a pod that came from nowhere.
Right.
So he's still kicking, just taking a brief nap.
Right.
Yeah. But man, is he ever angry still?
Yeah. At first I was a bit confused as to what happened, but he crash lands on like the side of this mountain and then like proceeds to like revert back to normal form and then take a nice nap. And then when it's on the side of a mountain, like up high in elevation. So when the earth cools down around him, the ice that has melted around has then kind of, and the snow has like melted and like fills up this crater with water.
Right.
And at first I was like, I didn't get it. And I was like, because again, whenever the water fills up and everything cools down even more, it freezes over, like the whole lake.
Oh yeah,
or the crater, if you want to, whatever you want to call it,
right.
The pond. He's a part of the Broly pond. And at first I was like, what's happening? Like I thought that like,
could you imagine a fucking tour guide?
Oh, dude!
Like over here, you'll see a crater that also just happened to form a lake. We call it Lake Broly.
Yeah.
Why do you call it that?
We call it Crater Lake.
What crashed there?
Or better yet, we call it Green Lake because whenever this was formed, there was a strange green hue that lit up the night sky. We think it's a comet that came from the heavens that flew down and lit this thing green. But there's this like wacky like village that is apparently sacrificing their young.
Oh yeah,
to this like
straight up dinosaur.
Yeah, a dinosaur, weird looking dragon thing.
Yeah,
and so they ended up, and again, like Dylan was saying, shenanigans.
Right.
They end up putting out a whole bunch of food and trying to capture.
They straight up kill and eat the monster.
Oh yeah, and by they, we're talking about Videl,
Goten, and Trunks.
Yes. So like, I was already like, what? Where's Gohan? Right. But he comes later. He comes later.
As soon as a day passes after Broly was awakened by Goten's crying.
Oh, dude, and I thought that was so funny.
Right,
it
same fucking thing.
It helps out the fact that like we already know the reason in the first film as to why he hates Kakarot. But it's even funnier that like Goten, the son that looks. It is the spit and image of his father.
Just another Goku.
Yeah.
But small.
Right. And just as shitty, I think. Like his kind of
dumb and always hungry. Yeah, that's
what I mean. Like, just being a goofball.
Right.
But he's mad because he can't steal the food that's the bait.
Yep.
So he stands up, opens the lid, and just proceeds to cry out into the wilderness.
To scream and wail.
Yeah. Just like and I thought it was done so eloquently because he's crying. Then it cuts over to Broly.
You get a slow pan down to Broly frozen in the ice,
and you hear like in the distance the cries as he like has that Vietnam flashback
this
of like
pained expression that turns to rage,
and then you hear the cries of Kakarot from his his childhood,
right?
And I was like, oh yeah, I'm here for it. I'm ready for it.
Here we fucking go.
And then in true fashion goes Kakarot, and I was like, oh hell yeah, I'm so locked in.
Oh Lord, he coming.
Yeah, oh Lord, he coming. So yeah, they kill the dinosaur, they eat him, and of course
celebration is had by all.
Yes,
everyone laughs at the village idiot.
100%.
And the morning after.
Yep.
Videl wakes up to the sound of the ice breaking.
Yep.
Heads her down to the lake to see what's what.
And the horizon, the green hue.
Right, we just see Broly floating in the middle of the lake, steam all around him. And she just saunters on up like, the fuck's your problem, bro? You're blowing shit up.
Yep.
Of course, he doesn't say a word. And he's like, all right, you're first. And he just goes ballistic, starts beating the shit out of her.
I'm pretty sure there's a part where she runs up to him and he clotheslines her into the ground. And I was like, bruh.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, that's rough.
I will say, I think they were definitely having fun with this one.
Oh, yeah.
They made him out to be like the imposing bad guy.
Right.
In the first one, like
psychotic, sadistic.
Yes. In the first one, he is that too.
Right.
But like there is a touch of, what do you call it? I don't say empathy, but I guess it could be that. Like you get more of his backstory. So that one has more of like human elements where like his dad's involved and like you get to see where he comes from a little bit. Like there's more, but like this, we already know who he is.
Right. He's
so they don't
one
waste
of the biggest bads.
Right. We don't waste any time on it, which just makes this feel like it's like how do you describe
Almost
it?
like a slasher flick.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Because you already know.
Yes.
Whoever this fucker's up against, unless it's Goku, they don't stand a chance.
Right. And so like the fact that like we just know that like he's getting punched in the face and not flinching, and he's just like throwing these guys around,
just tanking hits,
and he's just like floating or sauntering slowly up next to them, just like brooding and hunting them down. I was like, oh, that's psychotic
the thing too. Oh yeah, he could easily end any one of them with like a flick of his finger, but he takes his time. He wants to enjoy it.
Yeah,
that's one of my favorite aspects of this version of Broly.
It's crazy, dude.
Mm-hmm. Especially with the kids, man.
I know.
Christ.
Holy shit.
Goten and Trunks are following shortly behind Videl after she's been like KO'd.
Yeah.
Into this lake.
Yep.
And being the go-getting like rowdy rough boys that they are,
100%.
They take it in stride at first. They're like, "Oh, who the fuck is this loser? What do you think? What do you think you're doing, buddy?"
Like it's wild. Yeah.
So, as the fight progresses, they're able to take hits. They're Saiyan boys. They're tough, sturdy, even.
Mm-hmm.
But they are still children.
Yep.
And that is Broly.
And Broly, in so many ways, is just beating the shit out of these kids.
Oh, yeah.
It almost feels bad to watch.
Right. I'm telling you.
I was like, oh, okay. Wow. Yeah, this is...
Like, they'll land a couple hits, and it's nothing.
No.
Like, they're not even making a scratch.
Flings them around. And I was like, man, this is unfair on a lot of different levels.
Yeah. At one point, they're in front of, like, this mine where the people have been harvesting these pearls of some sort, like
Yeah.
crystalline orbs and shit. And one of my favorite parts is whenever they get the bright idea to use the Dragon Balls against him, Trunks decides to distract Broly and act as a decoy. And as soon as he gets his attention, Broly just charges at the fucking mine and body slams the entrance.
Oh, no.
Like, he's just a fucking... He's like a kaiju.
Yeah. That's wild.
Yeah.
A force of nature.
Uh-huh. So, while that's happening, Trunks is just giving the runaround, trying to stay alive.
Right.
As Goten
literally
bumbles. Straight up bumbling fool.
Yep.
Tries his best, just his darndest, to get these Dragon Balls.
Inside of a cave.
Right. He gets all 7 and is like, Trunks, we got all 7. I'm going to summon the dragon now. And Trunks is like, oh, yeah. You're in for it now, bitch. Get ready.
Yeah.
he brings, oh, bless his heart. He brings him into the cave and is like, where's the dragon?
Oh, great Shinra.
Right. Come and get the bad man.
Yep. But
you got to be outside, yeah. Evidently, no one told him the rules for these things.
Is that actually one of the rules?
Yes, you have to be outside.
Interesting.
So that the dragon can...
Manifest?
Yes, be accommodated.
Nice.
So that's taking a little bit of extra... the moment Trunks is like, hey, what's going on? He just sees Goten running off with the bags. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Where are you
Help me!
I love at one point, he's like, how hard can it be to summon the dragon?
How long does it take?
Come on.
So yeah. Broly's like slowly rising up with
like,
the most apathetic look on his face. Like,
it's terrifying.
Yeah.
He's like a serial killer.
Oh,
He's just
yeah.
like emotionless,
uh-huh.
hunting this kid down. I was like, why? What are you?
Right. So fixated on killing that he's just completely oblivious to everything else.
Right.
And he gets Trunks like on his head.
Yeah.
One arm on his leg, the other on his fucking arm.
Forehead.
And he is he's about to break his spine over his head. But not before.
He pisses on his head.
Yeah. Trunks straight up just is like, I feel an emergency coming on. I'm not going to make it.
No. He goes from fear to, and I was like, oh, no,
like,
please, no.
Me.
Yep.
So Broly immediately like tosses him away.
Throws him straight down into the lake.
Oh, yeah.
With force. I was like, man, that kid's dead.
Oh, yeah, no. More dead.
Yeah, even
Extra
more
dead.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Crazy.
Yeah. So it's at this point that they are just about to be obliterated.
Yeah.
They've been launched from this waterfall that they were in front of and are about to be destroyed by one of his ki blasts that he throws out.
Yeah.
And
may I say, the landscape of Earth must be just riddled with craters.
Right. There's more than a few wastelands that people, that Goku and whoever the fuck he's fighting take advantage of.
Yeah.
But in this instance, we got his first son making an appearance, coming in for the save for his little bro and his friend.
And for a split moment, I forgot that Gohan was the child in question in the first film. It was getting hunted down by Broly, and
he's seen his fair share.
I know. I forgot about that. I was like, oh, because he comes in and he's like, Broly, you're supposed to be dead. And I was like, oh shit, I forgot. You also got thrown into a building.
Right. He sees him. He's like,
and left for
fuck.
Damn it.
Shit.
And of course, Trunks and Goten are like, you know this guy? And he's like,
right.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Crazy.
Yeah. Stars of this show, if you don't mind my saying so, are Kyle Hebert as Gohan and Vic Mignogna as Broly.
Yeah.
Because holy shit, dude. The laughs.
Yeah.
I've said it before. And the one
Broly's cackle.
hard-ass one-liner. Not until you lie dead at my feet.
Yeah.
Dude. Oh my God, it's so good.
I'm almost certain that besides the screaming, laughing, and the occasional kakarot, I think Broly has only one line.
Yep.
Or maybe two lines.
One full sentence. And that's it.
And that's what I'm saying. Is that's why it feels a bit like a slasher film.
Oh, yeah.
He feels like a masked murderer, but without a mask.
Right. An unmasked murderer.
Yeah. An unmasked, unshirted murderer.
Right. Unshackled.
Unshackled murderer.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I'd have to put this up there as one of my favorite tussles
Yeah.
Yeah. Not only because all the hits feel like super weighty.
Yeah.
Like as soon as Broly goes Super Saiyan after launching Videl, Goten and Trunks just to the wayside like garbage.
Yep.
The fact that Gohan goes Super Saiyan, charges Broly with a fucking like right straight.
Oh yeah.
And he just takes that shit right on the forehead and keeps going.
Just
dude. Smile on his
no
face.
Flinch.
It's perfect.
It's psychotic. It really is scary. Where I was like, oh, this is kind of terrifying.
Yeah. One of my favorites.
Yep. It has that feeling of like, when a demigod goes up against an actual god, is what it feels like. You have Gohan, all these guys are like these like half gods, and you have this actual person who's like, nah. Yeah, I'm the full thing, bitch.
Pure blood.
Pure blood. It's crazy. It's also hard to comprehend the power difference.
Oh yeah,
a little bit because it's so exponentially more.
Right. During that final beam struggle, it feels like Broly's just playing with the dial. Like,
yeah, he's just like,
hey, do I want to crank it up a little? It's like I'm getting a little bit of pushback, maybe just like 5 bits more. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh man,
it's wild. I think at the end he tries to like add more blasts to it, but I think it's just that one. He charges up one blast, lets it go, and then just sits there and watches it.
Right, he's just holding it there, pushing.
Yeah. Whereas like you have at this point, all the orbs have like all the Dragon Balls. We may as well call them what they are.
Right.
Roll out into the open air from the backpack, and of course,
so they're just gathered together at the ready.
Right.
But Goten wakes up like, I gotta help my fucking brother before he dies.
Yeah.
So he runs up like right next to him, throws his own Kamehameha in the mix.
Yeah.
Dude, the track that plays during this scene.
Oh, so cool.
By Ion called Ignored.
Yeah.
Holy shit. I love it. Yeah. But they're both like struggling against this world-ending blast that Broly has thrown out. Like during the fight, they're like, Goten is like, I wish Dad was here, and the Dragon Balls heard wish, and we're like, all right, let's go.
Didn't know that. That's how the Dragon Balls worked either. I thought you had to be like, oh great, Shenra, I wish for whatever.
There is usually that part to it as well, but I guess they were just like, okay, shit's going, like we need to. Go ahead and just go. I mean, it's
the thing is like he said it in his head, and that was what I was like, you got to be careful. Then
yeah,
you got to really be careful. Right, the second you get all 7 of those Dragon Balls, I guess it works. Whoever touched them last, or whoever.
Right. I'm not sure.
I don't know how it works, but whoever is that, you better be careful.
Yeah.
Don't you dare say that W word. Not now. We got to stay locked.
Just
in.
Say I hope. I
hope. Yeah. So, anyways.
So yeah, down he descends from Otherworld. Goku.
Yep.
Just giving him the pep talk. Like, are you gonna let this motherfucker destroy the Earth?
Yeah.
Dude, it's fantastic.
It's
the
really
family
cool.
Kamehameha is perfect. And as soon as Broly is somehow able to see past his own blast and see that Goku is there, he's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Kakarot.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's like full send now. I gotta kill these motherfuckers. So Trunks is able to get up on his feet, generates one final little bit of his energy, and just hooks it at the motherfucker.
Yeah.
From me to you, choke on it.
Yeah, choke on this. I was like, oh shit.
And it's able to block the rest of Broly's blast to like reinforce his own.
Yeah.
And that's how he fucking loses the struggle. Now,
by our powers combined.
Right, dude. Oh my god, it's one of my favorite moments.
Yeah.
Never gonna get old for me.
Oh, that was something I was gonna say and I can't remember.
Oh no.
Yeah, I was trying to. I thought of.
Was it about the balls?
No, it was about the pep talk.
Oh yeah.
He gives them like a pseudo pep talk and like tries to encourage them. Damn it, I can't think of it. Anyways, I'll think of it. So.
Oh, good.
Yeah. But yeah, this is the kind of the culmination of that, and it's they end up blasting him into outer space.
Yeah, they hit him so fucking hard
that
he goes straight into space and towards the sun.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like the blast on its own would have been enough to just take him out, but nah. You gotta make sure.
We gotta make sure he's dead.
Right. He has to be.
Yeah. That's wild.
Yep.
Shit, I wish I could remember what I was gonna say. I got distracted whenever we were talking about suck on this. And he throws that
see you later.
Yeah. Loser.
Right.
Yeah. Anyways. So yeah. This was a fun film. It was short and it was sweet, but man, was it interesting. Yeah. I think I'm gonna get a bigger picture of the grander story. Mm-hmm. And I do think that I need to pick a starting point for something, and I need to start. And
I mean, I feel like we gotta start with OG Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a good a starting point as any, I guess?
It is the starting point.
I see. So it goes Dragon Ball,
Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball Z, and then
it's Dragon Ball GT, but now it's Dragon Ball Super.
Got it. And then Super is the ending point right now. Or
quote unquote canon.
Got it.
I'd have been fine if it just ended at Z.
Really?
But, yeah.
I know we've talked about this last episode. Is Z long?
It's pretty long.
Okay. Yeah. And it is super long as well, or is it?
I can't remember. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I'd have to look up the episode list, but it was
we talked about this in the last episode, I think, but I can't remember what we said. I think it was adequate. Did they add any new characters in Super?
Yes, a shit ton of new characters.
That's what I thought. Okay, there's a lot of characters in Dragon Ball FighterZ that I've seen that I think come from Super, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Is
Ultra Instinct where it happened in Super?
Yes.
Okay. Does he go any higher in Z, or is just Super Saiyan
I think the highest he's able to go in Z was Super Saiyan 3.
Okay.
And that was it.
Okay.
And then in GT they added Super Saiyan 4.
All right.
And then it's pretty much the new ceiling is Ultra Instinct for him.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. Fucking crazy. It just keeps going.
Of course it does. It's a big anime. You gotta do that. You gotta keep getting bigger and bigger.
Right.
Power creep.
Right, dude. It is the prime suspect in the power creep dilemma.
Yeah. It's like I said, it's hard to because of like the power differences between Broly and everyone else. It's hard to like wrap your head around like just how much power that they're dealing with. Mm-hmm. But he just starts
in every instance it's required more than one person to kill him or finish him off.
Yeah. I'm a bit sad that Vegeta didn't make an appearance. I'm kind of sad. I would have liked to have seen that.
The funny thing is I like to think he felt Broly's energy and just stayed the fuck away.
Yep.
Like,
yeah,
no,
I'm good.
I'm not doing that again.
I can't have that happen again.
Yeah. I got clotheslined into a building. I don't want to see that fucker's biceps again.
Sorry, I think I'm all right.
Yeah, my son will be fine. He's a tough kid.
Yeah, he'll be all right. So, Trunks. Okay, this is where I'm gonna get confused.
Right.
So there was a young version of Trunks in the first Broly movie.
Yes, as a baby.
And so this Trunks we see is that same
Trunks.
Got
yes.
it. Is the older version from the future in this universe still in this version?
Okay. He went back to his own timeline.
Got it. Was he here for a lot, or was he in?
He was only here during the Cell Saga, whenever the androids showed up.
Got it. Interesting.
Yeah,
bruh, you said something that we just glazed over at the beginning. That I was like, I'm gonna have to unpack that later, but I don't have time to because we're starting the movie.
Yeah.
We were kind of talking about this as the theme song was playing, and we're trying to you're like, by the way, Goku's dead. Here's what happened a little bit, and I was like, okay, shit. Right. And I was like, so wait, how did he die? And I think your words exactly were, he was fighting Cell.
Gohan was fighting Cell.
Gohan was fighting Cell and punched him so hard that he threw up Android 18.
Yes, and reverted to his second form.
Right.
At which point he started freaking out. I was like, I'm going to self-destruct and kill all of you.
Right.
I'm taking you with me. And Goku, upon seeing this, was like,
Yeah.
Shit, I guess I gotta fix it.
And this is what I'm talking about, because what you just heard, his description, clean through like you just heard, was what I heard, and I was like, we're just gonna glaze over the fact that you just said that he got punched so hard that he threw up Android 18 and reverted back to his second form, and we're just gonna pretend like that's normal for me to understand, because I was like, first of all, he swallowed Android 18.
He absorbed them.
Yes. In his gut, or like through magical purposes, or
through his tail. Like first form Cell is like this fucking alien creature that we see is able to just sting someone with his tail and just absorb them, like liquefy people.
Oh God!
Right. For the androids 17 and 18, he is able to just absorb them whole, and then after that, it's considered like an upgrade. He transitions to his second and third form that way.
Holy shit.
Yeah, until you get to perfect Cell.
Yeah, see, I had no idea about that. Right. So I was definitely he was like, okay, so here's what happens.
Right.
Punched, throws up an android, reverts to second form. Got it? Okay, now, and then he panics and he's going to self-destruct. And I was like, whoa. And then, of course, then it's like, oh, shit, the movie's starting. Okay,
right.
But why? But how?
I'll show you the scene after. It's so fucking funny.
Yeah. So, anyways, that's where I was at.
I can't wait for you to watch this fucking show.
I know.
It's a fucking ride.
I know, and I'm excited. And I hope that you at home are ready for me to buckle up and watch this series as well, because I'm going to probably have
I feel like G Gundam is going to be a nice primer.
Okay.
With it being in that same like fight anime theme, bro.
Dude, speaking of, man, we got to get back to watching some more G Gundam, man.
Dude, yes.
I had a moment, dude, at the last episode.
Ian was upset.
No, it wasn't upset. I just had thoughts and feelings, and I had to express them. I was not mad. It was just there. I felt like there were some actions and some characters that I felt like they were trying to get me. They were trying to convince me to like, and I was not having it. And I think that I don't think I was fully comprehending some of the decisions some of the creative decisions in that episode. Because again, that's the kind of person that I am. Right. I think I overanalyze things that probably don't need to be overanalyzed, and that's just who I am, and I don't apologize for it.
He is what he is.
I am what I am, and I like looking into stories and overanalyzing characters and thoughts and feelings and motivations, and that's what I do. And so I think that I was going into this G Gundam kind of funny haha show, goofy in its own right.
Right, gotta put on your silly glasses.
Right. But I took them off and was like, hey, wait a second.
Wait a fucking minute.
Wait a minute. I don't think I like what this is.
What
that? So yeah, anyways, I was having some fun with it. And like I said, Dylan and I had a strong
I was telling him we could have recorded an entire episode of all the shit we talked about.
I definitely had a moment where I was like, I was going off the rails. But anyways, I'm having fun with that show. It's a lot of fun. So
best way to do it.
Yeah. So,
man. Yeah. So very excited to see what's next on the docket for Dragon Ball.
Oh yeah. I do think I want to watch more of these movies, but I think it'd probably be best if I try and get a better understanding of where we're at for some of them. Obviously, I didn't need to know too much going into this one, but I did think it was funny. I think it's funny in retrospect. In the moment, I was definitely a little bit confused because I was like, okay, so here's what you need to know. I was like, all right, got it.
Right.
I still
tried my best.
I'm still trying to lock in and remember what I was going to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
With the whole fight sequence. There was something I thought for the final fight sequence I was going to talk about, and I can't remember. But, oh well. We'll move past it. I hope you get the chance to, if you do get the chance to watch this movie.
Oh, yeah.
It's fun. It's if you enjoy Dragon Ball in any way,
capacity.
Yeah, I think it's good.
Ought to get a kick out of it at least.
I have some other things to talk about.
Yeah.
And I remember what they are.
Oh.
And I remember it's probably why I forgot what I was going to talk about for the final fight sequence because
I
I was putting all my brain power into remembering the talking points for the for the after show.
Yeah. First half of brain.
Yes.
Dargon Bow.
Yeah, Dargon Bow.
Second half of brain.
Yeah.
Things I would like to talk about at the end half of the episode.
You and I sat down and watched this very extensive long video of the history of Armored Core 6.
Courtesy of Vati Vidya.
I was going to ask you to say what his channel name is because that was a wonderfully made video.
Oh, yeah, dude. I've been watching this guy's stuff for years. He has covered just about every Souls game.
Yeah.
And he just does the most extensive deep dives into all the backstory.
Yeah.
Every character, all sorts of good shit.
There was even like animations and sketches made in the art style of some of the sketches made in Armored Core.
Just for this
Just
video.
for the video.
Uh-huh.
And I thought that it was so well made that I thought that was just like part of the game's like secret cutscenes or whatever. Like it's like concept art, like special features, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the stuff that was in the game had a specific art style, but the stuff that was like these like sketches and doodles and like the kind of the animated ones were just different enough where I was like, oh, maybe it was just some sort of like special edition or special features or whatever, you know? That's what it felt like. A little concept art unlock or whatever that games do sometimes.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then he was like, these are all made specifically for this video. I was like, yo, get
no
the
fucking
hell
way.
out of here. Video was like, what, 5 hours?
Yeah, just about 5 hours.
Yeah. And we kind of broke it up into like 2 or 3 sessions of watching it. And dude, I love Armored Core games.
Oh, yeah.
I love the story of Armored Core games.
We stand Armored Core in this house.
I stand for my Ravens out there. But dude, watching that video gave me so much more of an appreciation because I know that there was a lot of love and care and work that went into Fires of Rubicon.
Oh, yeah.
But dude, I love that shit. I love a good deep dive. I love all the Easter eggs. I love all the theories. And even like the breakdown of like the I never actually knew. I've heard of the word Rubicon, and I know it's like a line or it's like a crossing or a threshold or something.
Point of no return.
Right. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So I didn't know. At the end of the video, he talks about the fact of like, what was he said was Napoleon.
No, it was
or Alexander the Great or somebody.
I believe so.
Somebody, there was like the reason why we say like crossing the Rubicon is because I think he was crossing, the river was called Rubicon.
Yeah.
And so whenever they crossed that river, there was no going back. Like, so it was like that turn of phrase we use now hundreds and hundreds of years later is because of that. Like, you're crossing that point of no return, which is like something that happens in the game. Without going into so many details, there is a crossing point of like, all right, we're crossing that line.
Here we go.
And it's like, holy shit.
That was pretty cool.
I love that. I love that. And, you know, and there are certain mission titles that have certain names that mean things that tie. And I'm like, I love all that shit. I love attention to detail. I love whenever there's a story, there's a world, there's a history, there's love and care and attention put into something that makes it so much more than just the sum of its parts.
I hope this is the dollar that break the Ian's wallets back in purchasing the game.
I need to. I haven't because I just know I'm also kind of nervous that my computer's not going to run it. Yeah, because that game looks very beautiful.
Oh yes,
and so far any modern game that I've gotten in the past like year or two has just run like shit on my computer because it's just. I need to buy a new one, but I can't quite afford it right now.
Yeah,
I need to buy it, but it's also I'm in this kind of limbo of like I could pay full price for it, but I could also wait until it probably goes on discount.
Oh yeah,
but then if I buy it, I'm probably gonna want to play it, and if I launch it and it runs like shit, I'm gonna be sad.
Yeah,
because then I own it and I can't play it, and I've done that before in the past where back when I had a laptop, I'd buy a nice new game. My computer can't run it. I'm just sitting here looking on. It's just mocking me on Steam like yeah. If only you could play me. I was like, but why?
What a shame.
What a shame. Sucks that you suck, buddy.
Yeah.
So yeah. Speaking of games and Steam and all that kind of stuff, the other part on my talking list is Steam Replay came out.
Oh yeah,
kind of your Spotify Wrapped for Steam,
right.
Which I like. I kind of like that they've been doing this. I'm not sure if something happened with my one from last year, or if I didn't view it last year. I can't view my 2023 one, but I can for 22, and I can for this past year.
Nice.
And have you looked at yours yet?
No, not yet.
My top 3 games: Helldivers 2,
Right.
Lord of the Rings Online, and Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. If you can imagine, I definitely played. I played a whole bunch of those games, and it shows. I think my top 5. The 4th I think is Valheim, and the 5th is Skyrim. Because if you remember a few months back, I think I talked about it on this show. I was unlocking all the achievements for Grand Blue Fantasy Relink and for Skyrim, and I did, and I unlocked all the achievements this year, and it shows on my Wrapped as well. And yeah, back in 22 was whenever I started playing Destiny 2 with Dylan.
Oh god!
And so there's this moment. I think it's like in April or May, where I start, and then it skyrockets the amount of time I played between May and then June, and June and July is where it peaks. And then by the time August, it kind of dwindles. And then by the time September comes around, it's nothing. And I was like, I only played Destiny 2 for like 4 or 5 months. And I went hard for those 4 or 5 months. And I think I did a lot. I did more than I thought I would. And I literally don't think I've logged on since then.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, stop it. Dylan's trying to get me
winter sale started yesterday, and I don't know if you saw.
Yeah, Armored Core 6 Fires Rubicon, the deluxe edition's $40.
Yep.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Yep. The original Total War Warhammer is $5.
God damn.
And I've actually been thinking about picking up that, because I think you can get that plus all the DLC for like $30.
Wow.
So I was thinking about getting that.
That's a pretty good deal.
I know. So there's a couple of games on there that I think are on my wish list that I'm going to look around at and see. See about purchasing. Dylan, just give me a pause.
Halo Infinite's campaign's going for $20.
Wait, who's that?
Halo Infinite.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
only 20?
Mm-hmm. 1979.
Oops. Is it? Have you finished that?
I haven't. No.
Okay.
Couldn't bring myself to do it.
Have people not enjoyed it? Or I guess what's like the
I don't think
reception?
people have enjoyed, on average, Halo's story since 4.
Yeah.
I don't think I could. That's why I say the series ends at 3 for me.
Of course.
But I don't know.
I know there's a lot of mechanics that were promised in that game that were going to make it more than...
Oh, yeah. Oh, God. Yeah. No co-op.
Oh,
None
well.
whatsoever.
None at all?
No.
That's awful.
They kept saying there's going to be split screen co-op, there's going to be co-op in general, and then no, we're not doing it. Sorry. It's like, all right.
Oh, so they just said no, not at all?
No, they straight up said we're not shipping it with co-ops.
Really?
Even though there was a workaround and you could do it on your own.
What?
Yeah, the function was there. They just changed our minds.
There's there's got to be a reason for that.
Bullshit is what I say.
They got to just be because they don't want to waste their time on it, I guess, or
poopy. No,
or have
straight
to,
up dookie.
They don't want to have to. I don't know. There has to be some sort of reason.
No
excuse. I'm a proponent of follow the money, and I'm pretty sure there's probably some cut cost somewhere.
Unfortunately, they fell victim to the overpromise and underdeliver.
Yeah.
So,
well,
yeah.
Sorry to hear.
Bit of a sore spot.
So yeah, I've been looking at my replay for anybody out there who is a Steam player. Check out your Steam replay this year and see what I think it's kind of interesting because they do a pretty good like detailed breakdown as well. Whenever you scroll down, it gives you like each month
bunch of charts.
Yeah, all like the games you played and what time and all that kind of stuff. We have a friend of ours, Nick, and he played. He played, I want to say it was something crazy like 200 or 300 games or whatever, like different games. Or it was maybe like 100 and something games. I can't remember. He'll correct me. But they're he told me, I think his top games were Helldivers 2, Counter-Strike 2, and Call of Duty.
Huh.
And I was like, that checks out. That's definitely him.
Right.
But he was like, but I don't understand why my percentages in those games are so low. Because for me, Helldivers 2 was 30%.
Mm-hmm.
Large chunk.
Oh, yeah.
Lord of the Rings Online, 26, 27 or something like that. Mm-hmm. Another large chunk. Grand Blue Fantasy Relink was like 19%.
Right.
And then everything else after that, like I said, Valheim and Skyrim were like in like the teens or 10% or whatever. And then everything else, the other handful of games that makes up the rest of the percentage. So like I stick to like a couple games and that is me. Mm-hmm. I find a game and I will like, I mean, a prime example, Destiny 2. I played Destiny 2 for like hardcore 5 months. Mm-hmm. And I do that. I find a game and I play it for like 5 months straight. And I'm just like, hell yeah.
Yep.
That's who I am. Mm-hmm. Very hyper fixated on one game at a time. Right. Whereas Nick is not that person.
Right.
So he was like, I don't understand why I only have like 15% in Helldivers and 10% in this. I think his top 3 games was something like 30 to 35%. Yeah. And he was like, where's the rest of it? And I was like, bro, you played 100 and something games.
You ping pong.
I told him, I was like, I'm not mistaken. I told him, I was like, you have 30% of your games and you have 30% of your percentage in 3 games, which means you have 60% in the other 100 and something games. So I was like, you probably have like a couple of hours in each one of those games, and that makes up the rest. And he's like, you know what, that kind of checks out. Yep. And I was like, and then of course he said this, not me. He's like, this also probably says a lot about my psyche and who I am as a person. I was like, damn. Yeah. Because he was like,
if you want to go that far, sure, I suppose.
Well, it was in direct comparison to what I was talking about. I was like, I have, the most played game is 35% or whatever for me, or 34%.
Yeah.
Which is like a large chunk.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways.
Yeah.
I've been enjoying that. It's been a lot of fun watching that. And then last but not least, speaking of games and the games that I played the most, Helldivers 2, man.
Oh.
I had to talk about it a little bit. I had to talk about it a little bit because this week has gone from same old, kind of radio silence. There was a point in time during this year where the game came out, I think it was like January, February this year.
I think so.
Which is crazy to think about. It's already almost a year old.
Yeah.
I was a bit late to the purchasing of it. So I want to say
Pratty.
I was late to the Pratty. And I want to say it was like April or May is when I purchased it for myself. Mm-hmm. And I started playing it a whole bunch. And I fell in love with it. And again, the game was still kind of new. There's a bunch of major orders that were going on. Mm-hmm. This is like a live service game where like they're actually like actively like changing the story and the narrative as like the game is progressing, which is kind of fun.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Yeah, it's a new kind of take on what I've seen like MMOs do in the past. I think like World of Warcraft did this back in the day. I never actually played World of Warcraft, but like they had like the story of the world. It's kind of changing the world as things are happening. So when the next expansion comes out, like the world is different because of the actions that happened in the previous expansion, or at least that's what I was under the impression of. It may not be always, but things are happening. I feel as though, and people have joked around about this, that like I feel as though like there is news and there is a war happening, and I am a part of this thing, and it feels the way in which I'm receiving media for it, and I have participated in the past. It feels as though it's just as real as something happening in the real world a little bit of like how
pretty immersive.
It's pretty immersive, but it's active. Like there is stuff happening. Mm-hmm. The community of people, the like 150,000 players or whatever that that are
helling and diving.
Yeah, diving and helling, are like changing the course of history in this game,
Right.
and it feels very much like whatever happens now is like you have a direct influence to what's
Your
happening in the game.
decisions matter.
And it's cool, and I love that, and it's refreshing, and it's kind of weird, and it's fun and different, and I love that. It's had its pitfalls, had its downfalls, but I'm saying all this because there was a period of time where, just like with everything, got busy with work, busy with a lot of other stuff, and just kind of took a break on the game. Took a break on a lot of games because I was very busy in like October, November.
There was a point at which all of us just stopped playing for a while.
Yeah, and I think and a lot of times when we do that, we kind of stop playing a lot of things. We'll play some games together, and then we'll stop for a time, and then we'll all play our like solo games or do our little thing, and then we'll all kind of come back together at a certain point in time. And I think I'm going to say this as a little callback. I think we're at a Rubicon right now, where I think we're gonna cross over potentially, and I think our friends are gonna probably get back together, and we're gonna probably play this game a whole bunch again.
Yeah,
I have a feeling. I could be wrong. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like I'm drawing this out, and I apologize, but I'm just excited about it. If you can't,
I'm running out of steam.
You are.
I'm gonna lose it.
Well, Dylan can conk out. He can coast, and I'll fly this plane home. Don't worry. We have been, because the game was kind of, it's pretty consistent, but still some things were changing. There was the great collapse of Meridia we were all a part of. It's this kind of shit I'm talking about. I can talk about points in time in history as if they were actually happening. Like we were all there on Meridia. Mm-hmm. We were all pumping the frickin' the explosive stuff inside the planet. We were doing that. And then I'm almost certain that we were all online or very shortly within no time at all, we were all able to get online and watch and witness the collapse of Meridia.
Yeah.
Which then it exploded, and then of course I think it was some sort of catastrophic failure, and now it's a black hole.
Right.
And now it's there. That is a mark on the map. And so what I'm saying is, it's things like that are happening, and we've been teased that the Illuminate's been coming out for a long time, not by the developers, but by everyone else.
Yeah.
Everyone else in the community is like, I played Helldivers 1.
I was there.
I was there. I was in the
I've been through
trenches.
several galactic wars.
And I know them squid guys are around here somewhere.
Right.
And so there are a couple of people who were able to dig into some files and see some things. And people are starting to get excited about it. And I was like, it'll happen when it'll happen.
Right.
And people kept anticipating and trying to figure out and trying to guess and predict, and no one ever got it. And then out of nowhere,
they just dropped them fuckers in.
I remember exactly where I was. I was in my office and I was packing up, trying to go home. And I look at it. I got the notification on my phone saying, all Helldivers, forget all previous major orders.
Right.
We are moving to LibCon 1. Everybody, we need you to go towards the south side of the galaxy to go take care of the Illuminate threat. They have returned. And I was like, yo.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit.
Ain't no damn way.
This is about to get wild.
Yeah.
And so we all, I think in different
run out
ways.
the office like, I've been drafted. I have to go.
Yeah, I was like, holy shit, I gotta go. We've been moved to LibCon 1. It's priority mission.
Yeah.
And then the new War Bond came out.
Uh-huh.
What is it? The Truth Enforcers.
Oh yeah.
It's this like motif of black, red, and white. My favorite.
Yeah.
It's all red armor. And I was like, oh hell yeah, dude. They got some fun weapons. So not only is there like new armor and weapons to work towards, new color schemes for everything. There's this new enemy that's different and trying to figure out how to learn. It's like, okay, so like, and I'm almost, if I'm not mistaken, from what the news has told me, is that upon release of the Illuminate, the peak amount of players was had surpassed the maximum amount of players that they had before all that PlayStation Network stuff happened. The whole drama happened. So that means that like the game has the most amount of players that it has had since all that controversy that happened, 6 months ago or whatever. Which I was like, I love that, because we had discussions about this over Discord where I was like, I'm sad that this may be like a stain on its reputation and people won't ever get that out of its head. And I love the fact that like this kind of for me was like a little bit of that. Okay, maybe that with enough time, things can change, and I think all that kind of people can change their mind on stuff. So, anyways, there's also they released a cool crossover with Killzone.
Oh yeah,
obviously with PlayStation IPs.
Right. They're just sitting on those motherfuckers.
I'm
not doing a damn thing with them.
Well, they did something with them, and they released some new weapons, some new armor, all of the cool toys and things, and then they just straight up released the light armor version for free. With the sniper rifle, with the SMG, all that's free. Oh, yeah. You don't got to pay for none of it.
Whenever they announced that crossover, they said if we're able to get the major order finished, that they'd throw in a little extra goodies for free.
Hell yeah.
And
I love that.
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Needless to say, I love the game. So as per usual, I chipped in a little bit of money, and I bought all the Killzone stuff because I wanted it all, and it was very cool looking. Like I said, I'm not afraid to pay for some microtransactions for a game that I think is doing pretty well or that I like. I don't like to do it all the time,
right?
Not for everything, but for this game, I think they've been putting a lot of work into it. I think they're doing a great job, and I was like, hey,
stuck with it.
So I chipped in some money, and I was like, I'll go ahead and get me some new toys as well, have some fun with it, because it's also limited. Probably, they may do it again or whatever, but I'm almost certain it's probably gonna be a little bit of a limited release.
Right.
So who knows? And I'd like to see some other cool crossovers. What are some other PlayStation exclusive titles we can have some Helldivers crossover equipment for?
That would be pretty neat.
I want a God of War skin,
dude. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I don't know. So, anyways,
Sly Cooper.
Oh my God, hell
Jack
yeah,
and Daxter.
Jack and Daxter, dude.
Fucking Ratchet and Clank.
Oh, I'm all for that, dude. All day long, I'll do that. Give me a wrench to hit things with.
Yeah, a Deadlocked theme on the set,
God,
man.
Dude. That'd be so badass. Cool. So, anyways, I'm having my fun with Helldivers again. I haven't quite jumped in super hard like I was a while ago, but I have been trying to get on there and unlock some goodies where I can. Unlocking some more war bonds that they got, and so it's been pretty fun. So yeah, and then of course the winter sale's happening too. So I'm trying to I'm trying to look at some of
capitalize on that.
Yeah, capitalize on some of the games I haven't gotten yet. So yeah, is there anything you're looking forward to, or looking to see what they have unlocked? I don't know if or on discount, because I'm not sure if they have.
I was checking my wish list not too long ago.
Yeah.
So I'll have to look again, but they got some pretty good stuff going for pretty low.
On the down low. Man, I remember whenever I was younger, like there was 2 times a year that were like a peak excitement. It was the Steam summer sale and the Steam winter sale, dude. Yeah. Whenever those times of year would come around, I was like, oh hell yeah, buddy. So yeah. That's a lot of fun. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for listening to this show. Thank you for listening to me ramble about Helldivers for a while. And all the other things that I, wanted to talk about at the post show. I was trying really hard to remember them, so I didn't forget them. Right. So I made little notes and I wrote them down, so I didn't forget it. Thank you so much for your comments, for liking and subscribing to our channels, and having fun with us on this little journey. It's been a lot of fun. And if you're looking to get in touch with us, you can just type in the Aftermath on all major podcasting platforms. You can go into YouTube and type in at Hindsight Studios, and you can find us there as well. A couple of different things,
Right.
I think there's a movie or two that people have suggested to me that I think that we should watch. I think our buddy Toasty recommended one of the Dragon Ball films.
Oh.
So we may try and see if that's one of the ones we want to try and hit up.
Okay.
Maybe we'll do a different episode we'll take a break from Dragon Ball for a week, and then we'll come back around to.
Oh yeah, we'll start working through it again eventually.
Yeah. Oh, you know what?
What?
Next week's episode is going to be the one after Christmas.
Oh shit. We got to watch War on the Pocket,
dude. Christmas Gundam,
of
Christmas,
course,
dude.
Either War in the Pocket or Endless Waltz. Both contain Crimbus.
You're right, Crimbus.
Yep.
I kind of want to watch More in the Pocket. It's been a long time.
It's been long enough, I'd say.
Gosh, dude. I still somehow want to get digitally get all the episodes.
Oh yeah.
And trim them all down into like 2 feature-length movies.
Oh really?
You know, I think we did the math on it. I want to say it's 6 or 8 episodes or something like that.
Yeah.
It's not much.
I want to say it's only 4 episodes.
Only 4?
For War in the Pocket, I think so. Yeah.
You're probably right. It's been a while since we watched it.
Mm-hmm.
Probably a couple of years at this
Not
point.
long at all.
But I think whenever you do the math, it ends up being something like 2 or 3 hours. So, anyways, you're right. Happy holidays to all, and to all a good night.
Yeah, Merry Crimbus.
Thank you so much for listening, and until next week,
See you.
bye-bye.